My name's Grom, Commissioner of the Great West. I've been Commissioner of the League since its inception in 2004. I mean, in college athletics, every day is different. Something comes up, you can have 10 things on your checklist that you need to tackle every day, and sometimes you might only get down to number 1, 2, or 3 on the list there before something else may happen. Typically I office out of my home in Naperville, Illinois, and I have a staff of 3 other individuals that are located throughout the country, one in Kansas City, one in Houston, and one in Dallas. So keeping in touch with them on a daily basis is very important. But as I mentioned earlier, every day is different. Maybe tackling scheduling for future years. We may be handling a compliance issue on someone's campus. We may be trying to set up conference calls with our presidents or our athletic directors. We may even be, trying to schedule events, championship events, and get those things shored up before the teams arrive in town. So college athletics is an industry that's ever changing, and we try to stay on top of things as best we can. Early in the morning, my time, probably between 5 a.m. and 7 a.m. is to read all the local newspapers of our schools in the conference and see what the pulse is in those regions. So try to get a handle on those kind of things. But it's a fun industry and one that I'm proud to be part of. Well, went to school at the University of Kansas and was a member of the golf team there at the University of Kansas while I was a student there, and graduated in 1984. But so I still play semi-competitive golf. Enter about 5 or 6 tournaments in the Chicago area every year, and enjoy playing in that. What I like to kind of pride myself is dealing with people and being a people person, and kind of getting the pulse of what they're all about, and trying to get to know somebody and just to see what kind of get a handle on what makes them tick. So those are some of the, I guess, good qualities or special qualities that I might possess. Well, interesting concept. There were several independent schools that were out there. Some of the schools were transitioning up from Division II, such as UC Davis and Cal Poly. So back in 2002, 2003, a group of athletic directors met in Las Vegas for 2 days of meetings to try to get a league off the ground and kind of take steps of what it takes to get that league off the ground. The schools were Cal Poly, UC Davis, Southern Utah, St. Mary's of California, Northern Colorado, North Dakota State, and South Dakota State. So at the time, we had 7 schools around the table, and came up with some bylaws, some policies, and some scheduling agreements, and over a couple-day period, and we met again later on, and came up with a name, Great West, over several different suggestions from constituency groups on their respective campuses, and came up with a Great West name. We also had one of the institutions took upon themselves to go into the art department of that institution, and actually a student came up with the design for our logo. So that was pretty special. But something interesting, we had planned to launch the conference, I believe it was in June of 2008 or somewhere in that area. And the day before we had our big announcements, we had pens made, we had hats made, shirts made, coffee mugs made, and we had a call from one of our schools, St. Mary's, that indicated that they were going to drop the sport of football. So that kind of took us aback a little bit, but we went back and came together and decided let's go forward with this announcement. And so we did make the announcement with just the 6 schools. And the makeup of the Great West has changed over the years as schools try to get into more geographic leagues. But Northern Colorado was the first school to jump ship, so to speak, as the Big Sky invited them. North Dakota State and South Dakota State were able to find conferences with automatic bid as they went into the Missouri Valley Football Conference. Like at the time, I guess it may have been called the Gateway. And then when they left us with just 3 teams, and there happened to be 2 other schools that were transitioning up from Division II, and that was North Dakota and South Dakota. So that was kind of an easy transition for us in that we lost schools from those respective states and added 2 from there. So we've been a 5-member conference since 2000, I guess, for the last 4 or 5 years. And unfortunately, this will be our last football season, as all 5 of the members have found homes with automatic qualifying conferences. So I guess I'm proud of what we've accomplished, since 2004, and we're very pleased that the schools have found homes with automatic bids. But Southern Utah is as I go down the roster, is probably the school in the league that most looks like an FBS team. I mean, they have probably 6 or 7 players over 300 pounds on the line, several players that are 6'6", 6'5" in height, and that can probably match up with a lot of the FBS lines that they may face throughout the year, and which will make them a little bit easier coming down and playing at the FCS level in conference play, as well as some of the non-league games. But Cal Poly has always been our probably our most noted school in that they've made the playoffs 2 times since 2004. Tim Walsh will be going into his 3rd year, and they lost an all-conference wide receiver in Dominique Johnson, but they run kind of an unusual triple option offense, and it always gets school fits. I mean, last year they knocked off Montana in week 1, and hopefully they can do that again this year. They play Montana in week number 2. But UC Davis, Bob Biggs' team is always very steady. They've had a good passing game over the years with Randy Walker now. As a senior, he should lead that team to good things. Coach Biggs is always up there. They've had a winning program there, and at UC Davis for 32 of the last 33 years, they've had a winning record. I think they'll be a team to be reckoned with. North Dakota is picked to finish 5th in the league, but I think Chris Mustin has that program going in the right direction. They've improved every year. And then South Dakota had a good year last year. They were a couple of extra points and a missed field goal away from being being the champion of the league. So I know Ed Meyercourt will have that team going strong, and probably one of the better kicking games, punting games anyway, in the country that they have going for them. I don't think you can count the Great West out. We've had 8 wins against football bowl subdivision teams, since 2004, including last year South Dakota's win at Minnesota, and then UC Davis had a big win over San Jose State. So our teams are not afraid to play the big boys. We have 9 games against football bowl subdivision teams this year. Starting out in the opening weekend, UC Davis traveled to Arizona State, and Arizona State has picked to finish high in the Pac-12 this year, and some of Sports Illustrated had them ranked in the top 25. So I think we're going to have a great last season. We look forward to finishing it off in style, and hopefully we can get 1 or maybe 2 teams into the playoffs this year. I'll tell you what, it has been a fun ride since 2004. I've been there from the start and seen the teams improve. I've gotten to meet quite a few of the players over the years, and just fine gentlemen on the field, fine gentlemen off the field that carry themselves very well and carry their respective schools in the conference name proud. So the message I say is play hard, play safe, and do the best you can to represent your university in the finest fashion possible. Again, my name's Ed Grom from the Great West Conference. Appreciate all the listeners and subscribers out there that tune in and take part